Good evening. My name is Brian Grzymkowski. I'm one of the assistant directors of graduate admissions here at William Paterson University. First and foremost, I want to thank all of you for taking the time out of your schedule to join us for our webinar today about our MA in Applied Sociology. Before anybody goes and grabs notebooks and gets ready to start jotting down notes, I want to make sure you know two things. First, right under the Handouts tab on the GoToWebinar screen, you'll see that this PowerPoint presentation that Dr. Vince Parillo is going to be going through in just a couple minutes is available in its entirety there. So if at any point you want to click and download the file, you could refer back to any of the information on here, any program specifics, contact information for faculty, etc. So no need to grab a pen as we go through this PowerPoint. The other thing is, if you have a colleague, a friend, anyone else who might have taken interest in this presentation but wasn't able to join us this evening, we are going to make this presentation available to you in a couple days through our YouTube channel. So you will be receiving an email with that link as well. So again, just ways to refer back to this and let you be hand-free while you take this all in. And certainly it's our hope that the ability to be sitting on your couch, to be sitting in your office, wherever you find yourself now, that this would be a great opportunity for you to learn more about our program. Certainly it's our hope that if you're interested, you'll come back, you'll get a chance to visit the campus. We have a beautiful campus here in Wayne. We'd love to have you here, but I know busy schedules often don't allow that. So it's our hope that this is a convenient way for you to learn more. And as I mentioned, Dr. Vince Parillo is here with us today, the program director. He's going to talk a bit about his program, but one other thing I'd want you to know as we go through, do, if you're able to, save your questions until the end of the presentation. The reason I say that is because we do have time at the tail end for question and answer. So if you find you need to leave us early for some reason, obviously feel free to type right in the question box that's there, but otherwise would ask you to save the questions until the end. So with that being said, I will turn it on over to Vince. So Vince, take it away.
Well, thank you, Brian. As he said, I am going to be speaking to you about our program in applied sociology. And what is coming up on your screen is more than just a slogan about getting an edge. You see, when we were developing this program, we first met in focus groups with employers, people in various HR departments, and all different kinds of private and public programs and companies. And we asked them, what did they want in an applicant? What skills were they looking for? And it was based upon their answers that we built this program. And one of the benefits, in my opinion, about not only do we provide you with a skill set that is in high demand, as we know, but we do it by building on your own strengths, on your interests, and on your career plans. And what we do is we provide you with a strong foundation and very practical sociological insights, but most importantly, an evaluation research that's important in either the public or the private sector. In this day and age, accountability, employee morale, market share, and many other avenues of assessment and value research are very much in demand. And that's what we do. And we provide you, therefore, with skills that are not only in high demand, but also make you eligible for even higher level staff and management positions in a very diverse workplace. What we do is we prepare you, we give you tools to measure relations within that organization or measure various kinds of elements regarding client satisfaction or constituents or stakeholders and what they're thinking and feeling. And what we do for you is we create an individualized program of studies that builds on your strengths and your interests through other options besides the required courses. We have various electives that you can take. We do provide independent study opportunities and also an internship. And I'll speak more about that in just a moment. Now, why should you even get a master's degree? Well, one answer might be this. There's a financial incentive. In a report that came out just last year from the National Center for Education Statistics, you can see young adults ages 25 to 34 with a master's degree earned 24% more than those with just a bachelor's degree. So certainly that's clearly one reason why. Now you might say, well, what can I do with an applied sociology degree? What kind of jobs are there? And as you look at this screen, you're seeing some of those possible job opportunities in applied sociology. But these do not exhaust the possibilities. As you look at this list, notice what you don't see. You don't see the word sociologist, and you will rarely find it in job advertisements outside of higher education. You see, jobs in applied sociology exist in virtually every occupational field, but they are all about the research-driven skill set that you will acquire in this program. Now, often your first applied sociology role will be an entry-level one as a researcher or perhaps an analyst for a company or organization. In time, you can get a promotion and become a decision maker or strike out independently as a consultant if you wish. I can tell you that since our program began in 2009, several of our graduates have already done exactly this. But that's not the only area or venture. Some of our students are interested in pursuing an academic career. And if that's the case, this program does that as well. In fact, some of our most recent graduates are enrolled in PhD programs and on full scholarships at some of our leading universities. And we have others who are working at a different job, but they supplement their income by teaching on a part-time basis as an adjunct instructor at a 2 or a 4-year college. Well, if you want to be a full-time college teacher, then you do need a PhD or all but your dissertation, ABD. But with a master's in sociology, you are able to teach as an adjunct professor in the area of sociology at 2 or 4-year colleges. Now, before I get into more details about our program, let me just take a quick minute to speak to you about William Paterson University. A few of you have been students here, but many of you have not. So let me just quickly say that our main campus is located on the border of the towns of Wayne and North Haledon, and we're about 20 miles away to the west of the George Washington Bridge in Manhattan itself. In fact, the New York City skyline is visible from many parts of our mountaintop campus. The building you're looking at on the right, that's Robbinger Hall, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But I just want to point out that the corner of that building you're seeing there, the windows, that's part of the sociology conference room where several of our graduate classes are held, the seminar classes. And if you're interested in traveling to New York City or perhaps back from it, New Jersey Transit Bus 198 provides direct service from our campus to the Port Authority bus terminal in Manhattan. And one other quick point to make. We are just 3 miles away from Paterson. The city of Paterson is America's first planned industrial city. And why is that important? Well, for 2 reasons. First, it is the site of the nation's newest national park, the Paterson Great Falls National Historical Park. And these falls are the second largest east of the Mississippi River. And it's on the basis of that new development of a national park that our university has formed the Paterson Metropolitan Region Research Center. This provides outstanding resources and opportunities for students and faculty alike to stimulate research, give you opportunities to explore various dimensions, to promote a greater understanding of the history or the importance and the contemporary relevance of this region to all citizens, regardless of where they live. This is going on all the time with seminars that we run and conferences and bringing people in from all over. So our location is easily accessible, and we're smack dab in the middle of many kinds of nonprofit organizations and many corporations and many other business entities in which one can find internships to do and opportunities for employment. One more thing. Our campus setting is, for those of you who are nature enthusiasts, right next to the High Mountain Nature Preserve, consisting of nearly 1,300 acres with 5 marked trails for hiking enthusiasts, And let me just close in a little bit more for you as you look at this aerial view of our campus. And I'm closing in for you to see the academic zone where all our buildings are. And the one we have just zeroed in on now, this is Robbinger Hall. This is one of our classroom buildings, and I'm going to speak about that right now. This is Robbinger Hall. This is the home of the Sociology department. It is where most of our classes and our computer labs are. It's also the home of the Provost's office and the Office of International Education in the Honors College. So we are in a key central location. And just a little bit up the pathway from us is the University Commons. It's the locale of the campus bookstore, but it's also the focal point for social, cultural, dining, and entertainment activities for the entire campus community, and a number of good places to eat right there as well. And going up just a little bit further is the Cheng Library, very important for any graduate student. Our library currently provides access to over 21,000 journal and periodical titles online, as well as over 3,000 titles in print and microform format in the periodicals department on the first floor. Up on the second floor is the Graduate Research Center, and this quiet study area has study corrals and soft seating, and it's made available to graduate students only. Well, those are the places. Let's talk about the people. Let's talk first about our faculty. Students will learn from and develop working relationships with excellent teacher scholars. These folks have national and international reputations. They include recipients of the prestigious Fulbright Awards, competitive fellowships, and awards for excellence. And several of our professors bring professional experience as well as academic, which informs their teaching activities and their mentoring assistance. Moreover, our faculty's extensive publications, their engagement in applied research, their active affiliations in professional or community organizations, and their extensive network ties bring cutting-edge research and help you as a student develop the analytical and presentation skills that employers are looking for. All of our graduate faculty, both full-time and part-time, have PhDs in sociology. You're looking right now at some of our theory and methods instructors, and they bring to our classes extensive management experience in corporate research. And that real-world practical experience enables students to gain insights and understanding into the world of applied sociology. So they bring the real world to you in their classrooms. The Eastern Sociological Society is the most prestigious of the regional organizations. It represents schools from Maine to Northern Virginia. And it's here. It's at our university. And one of our members of our department is actually the executive officer of it. And thus, through the annual meetings, you as a graduate student have a chance to present your research either in a paper session or in a poster session, and you get the opportunity to network with some of the leading people in the field of sociology. It's a special opportunity only available here at this particular campus. And we help you further in those presentations you make of your research, whether it be at an annual meeting in Boston or Philadelphia or Washington or wherever. We'll underwrite your expenses. We'll cover it because we want you to have that opportunity to gain experience, to meet people, and to build up your resume. Now, what about our program? Well, it's 33 credits. That's 11 courses. Core 1 requires 2 courses, an applied statistics and applied theory. If you're a sociology major, you've probably taken a course that's called statistics or theory or methods. These are applied courses. They're much more practical, relevant to the real world out there. In Core 2, students must take 2 methods courses, and we provide 4 different possibilities for you to take. I'll come back to that. Core 3, which I'll also speak about, is 2 semesters of a professional internship. If as an undergrad you did some sort of internship, all I can tell you at this point is it's not the same thing. It's a much more involved and accomplished thing that builds your resume. I'll also speak about that in just another moment. So that's 18 of your 33 credits. The final area is in content, where you will take 5 sociology elective courses. There are many courses to choose from. A few of them I'll just run by you for a moment. They're called intercultural communication, conflict management, drugs and social policy, health and social justice, teaching sociology, age and aging, gender in a global society. There are other choices as well. This does not exhaust the possibility. Plus, you can also take courses outside sociology within those 15. Depending on your career plans and your interests, with an advisor's approval, you may take 1 or 2 courses outside of our discipline, even outside this university, if they are valuable to you. So we work with you in tailor-making your program. Some students would rather not do an internship at the 2nd semester, but instead do a research and thesis. And if that's you, we'll work with you in that goal. Another very interesting thing about the internship is that it is in an area of your choice. And so some of you working full-time might be able to do the internship within your own work setting, or perhaps not. And we'll work around whatever your schedule is and whatever your demands are to make sure that you get a full-fledged real-world experience. You will work one-on-one with a faculty mentor, and you complete what is called an evaluation research project. This is something that your site supervisor is interested in doing. Your faculty mentor works with you to develop it, and what you complete is called a deliverable, and it becomes part of your portfolio to show prospective employers of what you're capable of doing, and it gives you a whole new expertise that you can claim on your resume. And this, we have learned from our own students, not only enhances your resume and your portfolio, but actually has led to jobs and to promotions. Within this particular program, one of the methods courses, a skill set you can acquire, is something called GIS mapping. Now, GIS is an acronym that stands for Geographic Information System. And what GIS simply is thematic mapping utilizing special software. This is a skill set not available at most universities, but it is here. And thematic mapping is a skill set that's in heavy demand. You are able to convert any data into color-coded maps. You can use this visual skill in presentations, whether it be PowerPoint or otherwise. It's a very, very important and valuable skill you can develop. Now, built within the degree program is a certificate program. This is another credential that you can get by being a part of this particular program. You have to take 12 credits to earn the certificate. First, you're already taking the applied social statistics. You might remember I mentioned that as a Core 1 course. Then the other courses that you're seeing showing up here, quantitative and qualitative applied methods, the GIS course I mentioned, and also program and policy evaluation. In your Core 2, you will already be taking at least 2 of these courses. If you choose to take a 3rd course and then 1 less content course, so you're still within the 33 credits, that's when you earn the certificate. So you still have a 33 credit program, but now you have this extra credential. And the certificate in assessment and evaluation research skills that you see here before you, it's a very helpful credential because it shows a focused concentration of study. And in a world out there where the accountability and the bottom line are increasingly important in both the public and the private sectors, a certificate showing knowledge of how to conduct assessment and evaluation research can be very, very helpful in landing that job. As a sidebar here, I could say that anyone who's interested in just the 12 credit certificate program and not the full 33 credit degree program can also apply for that, but come in as a non-matriculated student instead of a matriculated one. We've had all kinds of endorsements from people out there who are prospective employers. You might recall the name Stephen Colasano. I mentioned him before as one of our instructors. He was a senior vice president for an international corporation, the ACE Group, had a staff of 500 people under him. And when he took an early retirement, he looked at his own words here about how impressive this program was and asked if he could be part of it. And he's now one of our instructors. We've had endorsements, as you can see here, in the sector, the healthcare system. This is an HR vice president who thought very highly of the program and how it was organized and put together. And from another endorsement from the public sector, you can see another endorsement coming to us. So the reason I have these three up for you to look at is notice they're coming from three different areas of employment, the corporate world, the healthcare system, and also in the public sector as well. So it's a program that serves many purposes and attracts people from many fields and for many fields. Now, some of you are probably people who are working and don't have much time and are a little concerned about, can you balance and manage both studying and your work, plus your personal responsibilities? What we do for you is we first run classes at the most convenient time. Now, how do we know that's the convenient time? We've asked our students. 6 o'clock is enabling them to get here at a decent time, but also to leave at a decent time and travel home because of work the next day. So they're not running in late into the evening. We also have very small size classes with this excellent faculty. So there's a lot of good interaction. There's a strong and tight rapport that is developed and a good mentoring that goes on, that you get more out of your classes than you might otherwise. For those of you who want to fast track and speed up a little bit, we do run online content courses in the summer. These are optional. You don't have to take them unless you wish to. There are many other options as well. We create, as I said before, a tailor-made program for you that balances all of the demands on your life. And we do the best we can to accommodate every thought and need that you provide for us. We work together as a team. There are many alumni out of our program now. I'm going to share with you a few of them. This is Robert Bell, who said he got the skills he needed to pursue his career goals, and he now is in his career goal. He is a research analyst. He got the skills that he wanted. There are people in the business world. Sherry is with corporate Toys R Us and HR, and she was happy with this program. She wasn't interested in getting an MBA, and she could go in a different direction with this sociological program and its skill set. There are people, here's someone who, Tara Haney, who is teaching on a part-time basis, and what she was doing for years, and now she's gone full-time at Lehigh Carbon Community College in Pennsylvania, and people who were interviewing her were impressed by the program that she presented to them. Here's a student who's gone on to the PhD program now and has found that what she got at the master's level has put her in an excellent shape for the PhD level. And this is another student who is working with Jaguar Land Rover as a training supervisor, and spoke highly to the program she got. So you can read these at your leisure, but these are some of the people recently, last few years, have left us and are now pursuing the career goals that they have. What do you have to do to get into this program? What are the requirements? Well, first of all, you have to have a bachelor's degree from an accredited college or university. So you submit your transcript to the graduate admissions office. We're looking for people with a cumulative undergraduate GPA of a 3.0 on a 4-year scale. Now, see this asterisk up at the top? I'll come back to that in a moment, speaking to about this point as well as the next one. There is a requirement of taking an entrance exam, either the Miller Analogies test, where we're looking for a minimum score of a 388, or else taking the graduate record exam, and we're looking for a score of 150 on the verbal section of that. That's what's preferred. In addition, we want a writing sample from you, a 500-word essay that's basically autobiographical, telling us a little bit about yourself and what your plans are and how you think this program will help you. So it's a writing sample. And also 2 letters of recommendation. These should be people who are familiar with your academic record or perhaps your professional one and can speak to your competency and endorse you for our program. Now to that asterisk, all right? If you don't have that 3.0, if you don't have the score you need, we do provide for offsetting credentials for you to show us you are capable of doing graduate work. What you do in that case is you enter as a non-matriculated student. You take 6 to 9 credits in our program and get B grades or better. And those courses you take are indeed part of the program. They're not extra courses. They're just, you're showing us you're capable of doing the work. And at that point in time, you reapply for matriculated admission and have these credentials offset whatever deficiency you had as your GPA or perhaps your test score. All right. So basically, what I'm saying to you is that we will work with you, help you find your strength, give you a program which will prepare you for the real world out there, and to do so in a positive way with a good learning experience. So if you want any further information, I'll be happy to meet with you. This is the email address that you can reach out to me. We can set up an appointment or a telephone conversation if you wish, and we can talk further about it, answer any of your questions. We can even lay out for you a 2-year program of studies just to show you at your pace, whatever speed you want to go, as to what you can take, where, and when. At this point, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Brian and answer any questions that any of you might have.
Thank you very much, Vince. As all of our students take a moment to think about any questions that you might have, I would encourage you to type them right in the chat box right there. I will read them off to Vince. That'll give him the opportunity to go through and answer some questions. A few of you joined us a little bit later and just wanted to make sure you knew 1 or 2 things before we jump right into the question and answer session. First, want to make sure you're aware that this PowerPoint presentation is available in its entirety right under the handout section of the GoToWebinar screen. You can download the PowerPoint presentation. If you miss a couple slides, it gives you the chance to go back and see what you might have missed. If you didn't get the chance to jot something down, it gives you the chance to refer back to some of the information, program requirements, email addresses, etc. So that's available to you there. And then, as I mentioned earlier, this is also going to be made available on our YouTube channel probably next week. So keep that in mind as well. If there's any of your colleagues, friends, etc., who you think might benefit from the opportunity to see this presentation, it's going to be available in its entirety as well. So I will start. We did have a few questions come through, and as I go through, please don't be shy. Feel free to type a question into the box right there. Vince, one student asked, you had mentioned about needing to have a bachelor's degree from an accredited institution. Student asked, does it have to be a sociology major? Do you have to have sociology experience on the undergraduate level to get into the program?
Well, that's a good question. The answer is no. You do not have to have a sociology degree to get into our program. And as a matter of fact, right now in our program, I have several people who are communication arts majors. I have a psychology major. I have someone from business. We have a philosophy major, and we have an economics major, in addition to social majors. So whatever background you have, again, please understand, I said we will tailor make our program to meet your needs and interests. So what we do is with students who lack a sociology degree, we slowly put you into certain courses and not into others, just to get you, feeling comfortable with the content.
And then another question is research in the area of research, research opportunities, the only type of job position that would be available to someone coming out of this program?
No, of course, research is one of the key areas. There are many job opportunities out there for people as research analysts or working with public opinion companies, for example. We even had somebody working with a company that charted the top 20 hit songs. But no, there are many opportunities in the nonprofit agencies, in the business world. We saw, for example, one of the people I quoted for the endorsements works as a training supervisor for Toys R Us, another is a training supervisor with Jaguar Land Rover. So there are many possibilities. What's the nice thing about it is no matter what field we talk about, the company or the agency, the organization is always interested in how can we do a better job? Are we doing all that we can? Are we as efficient as we could be? And if you've got someone in your organization that has some familiarity with how to measure these elements in capacity with whatever their normal job is, they're like gold to that organization. And so we do find that yes, some of our students go into research. Yes, some of them do go on and want to be teachers and college professors, but the reality is the majority of our graduates are using these skill sets in many other areas as well. And I think the beauty of this program is that it doesn't close doors. It actually keeps all the doors open, all the possibilities open, and with a skill set that people very much are seeking.
Okay. And then we have another question from a student who is very close to the 3.0 GPA that you referenced before. It's a William Paterson University alumni. And they want to know if the best route for them is to go as a non-degree student to start as a non-matriculated student before they go into the program.
Well, I would encourage anyone who is very close to the 3.0 but not there is to take the Miller Analogies test. I personally like that test better than the graduate record exam because there's no big math section on it, and that scares some folks. But if you are very close to a 3.0, you take the Miller Analogies and you do well on that, we may well waive the 3.0 on the basis of that if you're that close. If you're a considerable distance away from the 3.0, then the answer is yes, it would be better to start as a non-matric. Sample the waters, just do it a little bit, and find out if this is the program for you.
Thank you very much for that. And then one student was interested specifically in the timeline for completing the program, wondering how many courses they would take in a typical semester, and for your average student, how long it might take to complete the program.
All right, well, there's another good example of why we can talk about tailor-making the program for you. We have students who want to go full speed ahead and complete the program in a year and a half. Those are our people who are full-time and are taking advantage of the summer program. I had one gentleman just recently graduated, and it took him 6 years because he didn't like summer courses and he could only take one a semester, if that. 6 years is kind of the maximum time frame for this, but we've been known to grant extensions there too in extenuating circumstances. So the average student takes 2 to 3 years, but it's really you go at your pace. You can slow it down, you can speed it up. We'll work with you on it. There's no minimum. You can take a course in a semester, take a semester off if personal situation is such, and then come back and resume again. So it's up to you as an individual, and we work with you to complete your program in as practical a way as it is for you.
Thank you very much for that. At least as of right now, it looks like that's it for our questions. So this will, we did get another one that just came through. The question is, on the admission side of things, is financial aid available for a master's degree? You are able to complete the FAFSA to apply for financial aid. You would be considered on the graduate level. It's a bit different from undergrad. Unlike merit award and scholarships, in this case, it's generally loans that students would be eligible for. But there's information about doing so on our website, as well as the Office of Student Services website. And naturally, if you have any questions further, would encourage you to either come in by our office. We're located in Morrison Hall. Or you could stop by the Student Services counter or the Financial Aid office. Any of those offices would be more than happy to sit down with you and walk you through the process if this is your first time applying for a graduate program.
I would add to that that there is a partial scholarship available in our program for a deserving student, and also they're highly competitive, but there are graduate assistantships that you must be a matriculated student and you must apply before an April 1st deadline for that. And if you are fortunate to be granted a graduate assistantship, your tuition is covered and you receive a $6,000 stipend that's payable over a 10-month period.
And otherwise, I believe that's it for the formal part of our presentation. We are going to stick around for a couple minutes. If you do have any other questions, I would encourage you to just type them into the chat box there. I can't stress enough, if you have more questions, also don't be a stranger. Do feel free. Obviously, you've got a helpful email address right there. Ours is graduate@WPUNJ.edu. You are more than welcome to come by anytime. For this period of time, we're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30 in Morrison Hall. We'd love to have you stop by and talk about things further. If you haven't already, it's certainly our hope that you'll consider getting started on an application very soon for our Master's in Applied Sociology. And I know for all of us here in the Graduate Admissions Office, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to join us. Vince, thank you so much. That was wonderful. And otherwise, everybody have a wonderful evening, and we hope to hear from you soon.